Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this webinar regarding our new product, the Mimaki TxF150. So I'm going to try guide you through a presentation. We have a small agenda, and let me open that up. Go. Okay. So my name is Mark Verbeem. I'm a supervisor in product management of Mimaki Europe, and I'm going to guide you through some different topics. We're going to talk a little bit about the market. We're going to talk a little bit about Mimaki's solution regarding software involved, things like that. You guys are all muted. What we'll do is we will be recording or are recording these sessions. If you have any questions, feel free to put that in the GoToWebinar sidebar. You will see that, and you can actually type in your questions, and at the end of this presentation, we'll go through the questions. So I'll turn my camera off so you have a good view of the presentation, and we'll go from there. All right. TxF150. So if you shortly go through the DTF. So what is basically DTF? DTF stands for direct to film. So it is a method when I print from a printer directly to a special film. With this special film, I apply powder, which is basically the glue to it, and then I cure it in for example, in an oven. So the powder becomes a liquid glue, and after that I can press it on a heat press. I can press that film on, for example, a t-shirt. Yeah, the powder applying and the curing and the drying is something you can do manually, but you can also have what we call a automated process with a shaker curing unit. Yeah, so where powdering, curing, and drying is all done automatically. The apparel decoration, so anything that you wear and things like that, is a pretty popular sector. At DTF has become a has had a very big impact the last couple of years. So DTF, or actually DTG, started around the year 2000 with the first patent there, and throughout the years, the market became very mature. And in 2020, we basically got the first real DTF solution. So these were printers that actually were made for this. We had other solutions before where customers might have some third-party ink in their machine to do this. But in 2020, we got the first real focused on DTF solution printers. And since last year, we also have specialty films. So not only the transparent films anymore, but we also have like a golden film or silver or glitter, or we even see flock film now, things like that. So that is a growing market. Ideally, if you look at DTF, logos, images on t-shirts, on your sleeve of a t-shirt or a long sleeve, on hoodies, on bags, things like that, promotional items. There's quite a big range where you can use DTF. Yeah, so it has some advantages over existing technologies. So if you look at DTF technology, basically you use a heat press on a wide range of fabrics. You can use full color. You can, ideally for small runs, it has good washability, works on most of the fabrics, not compared to, for example, DTG. I'll tell you a little bit about DTG. And also with technology, this technology, you don't need any pre-treatment of your fabric that you're printing to. So more efficient technology. You save time. You see that in this sheet where we talk about direct to garment, probably known in this market. You would actually have to pre-treat. You actually do this manually, or you can have a machine with maybe 1 or 2 sheets that you can produce at the same time. And depending on the printer, you can print 1 or 2 or even more at the same time. Then you would have to dry it, and then you can heat press it. Compared to DTF, we print directly to the film, we powder and cure it, we press it, and done. Again, here, if you don't want a manual process, you can do a shaker curing unit. Obviously, this is not something that Mimaki supplies. This is a third-party equipment that you need to have. But you see that there's quite a lot of time that I can save with the DTF process. Now, compare these two things with each other. As I said, DTF, I can do most of the fabrics, all kinds of fabrics. With a direct to garment, it's limited to cotton. No pre-treatment is required. Labor intensity, there's more with direct to fabric, there's more manual work to do because you have to put the t-shirt in, take it out, things like that. Where direct to film, you just print on the film and then transfer after the glue and the curing. One thing that makes it also different, the look and feel, the touch and feel. So direct to fabric is more smooth. It feels like your image is inside your cotton, and with the direct to film, it's more on top of your product, so it feels like a little bit more plasticized. Now, this depends very much also on the type of film that you're using. Some films have a more plasticized feeling than other films. Now, as Mimaki, we are delivering a printer that comes with Rasterling 7 software, and it comes with our DTF ink. Anything outside that, so the powdering and the drying and the transfer, either manually or in a shaker dryer unit, you would have to buy separately. Now, let's have a look at the printer. So why should you buy the Mimaki printer? If we look at the printer by itself, it is completely designed to be a DTF solution. It is built up from a platform that we already used before, but we have used the technology also inside. Now, one of the things is, we have what we call degassed aluminum ink packs. So what is the biggest benefit there? What happens if you don't use degassed? You get air in your ink tubes. Air ink in your ink tubes means you have nozzle failures, because basically means that you don't see you don't get a ink drop out of that channel. So you need to have degassed ink, so no air. So that's one of the benefits. DTF prints with white, especially needed on dark garment. So in that case, you want to have white ink circulation. So white ink has the tendency where the pigment, if you don't use it, the pigment goes down and it becomes less strong. So in that case, you want to have your white ink circulations inside your machine. It also means you still have to shake a cartridge. I've been running this printer for a while now, and roughly 1 time a day, my printer alerts me to say, hey, please shake the cartridges. And that's just because of the fact that I don't want to have the ink lowering the pigment in my cartridge. Inside the printer is not an issue. We have dedicated pinch rollers, so you don't want to have marks on your film because of these pinch rollers. Normally, the pressure of these pinch rollers are higher. Yeah. Quality is what we always had in the different Mimaki products. So we have a variable dot. which is the dot in this print, is 7 picoliter. There are some controls for better optimum printing. We have a print that has 8 channels, 8 rows, where you can see we have a CMYK and we have 4 white channels. Now, we have a stable operation. We have a nozzle unit and recovery system. So that means the printer will recognize by the check unit if a nozzle is failing, and we have a recovery system that can clean the inkhead automatically or mask the nozzle. So that the masking means do not use this nozzle anymore as it is clogged, and then later on you can do a hard cleaning, for example. There's a heater system, and one of the benefits it is that it is a 80 centimeter wide printer. Now, although we see a lot of DTF solutions on the 60 centimeter or maybe even 30, we are expecting that more and more of the powder shaker will come into an 80 centimeter possibility. So you could actually have an 80 centimeter roll inside your printer and an 80 centimeter powder shaker. And basically you are going up in production. So, you know, no need to print color bars. What we see very often on other DTF solutions is they are printing with color bars. This is done to keep all nozzles open. You know, we at Mimaki don't have that issue to keep nozzles open. So no need to print a color bar. So I can basically feed more, I can fit more images on my actually width of my media, because I don't have to print color bars. I don't get tracks on my film. I have a capping station and a wiper and a cleaning there that cleans, that keeps my production stable without nozzles failing. And I have this wider area. Now I have this thermal heat transferred pigment ink. So four colors plus 2 times white, 2 cartridges of white in there. And it has the OEKO-TEX proof. So that means you can wear it without a problem. Now, the ink supply, the color will come in 600 milliliters, the white will come in 500 milliliters, and you will see it is a physical ink bag. So the sustainability of the printer, we are not throwing away the actual ink cartridge. We're only swapping the ink back in there. Now, if you look at the production speed, so this prints color and white in one go. Production is what I've been using here quite a lot, 2.6 square meters. Now, this might be a little bit low, but if you look at it on facing the issues that you might have with other printers regarding cleaning of a printer, regarding maybe you have clogged nozzles of the white or things like that, we have seen that we are printing continuously. I've done a couple of trade shows from the morning to the evening. We are printing with this printer without any problems. Of course, we do the daily maintenance at the end of the day, cleaning the caps and stuff like that, but it keeps on running. 2.6 meters means on a roll of 60 centimeters, roughly 4.5 linear meter per hour. Yeah, so we think speed is less of an issue because we don't have any problems when we're producing. Now in Rasterlink, I have the option to create my white layer. So if you just send your 4-color file to your Rasterlink, I can there say, okay, what do I want to do with my image? I can put a whole layer, so it puts a complete white box behind it. I can choose for only valid pixel. That means everywhere where I have a pixel, cyan, magenta, yellow, black, or a mix, I will put white behind it. Or I can do valid non-background, and it basically fills the gaps like you see here with the smiley. It also fills the eyes and the mouth with white. In the software, I can also decide what is the percentage of white that I want to use. Yeah, so It might be that, you know, some particular application 100% white ink is way too much. When you create a layer in Rasterlink, you can decide how much of the white do you want to have here. Now, I've also in Rasterlink the possibility to adjust the white layer. I can thickening and thinning it. So that means the white layer, I can make it bigger or make it smaller. I would say thickening is not very often very happening. Thinning, I can imagine that would be that the white layer comes underneath the CMYK, so you would see more white. Then you should actually see only CMYK. In that case, you can shrink the white layer image a little bit, so you don't see it coming underneath the CMYK. Positioning, if it is not correct, I can go left to right. Although I don't think that this is going to be a problem. You know, if you look at the machine, it only has one print head. So normally you would see correction issues like this when you have what they call staggered print heads. So there you have two printers and you have to align these printers to each other. So I don't see a big issue here. Also, this printer and the printer specifications has been made public to RIP vendors. So people like Caldera, Onyx, Kotlin, things like that can develop a driver so they can actually run this machine for their software. Kotlin is a very known partner, a known RIP manufacturer in this case that does a lot of the RIP software. They run quite a lot of machines where the Chinese printer software that comes with the printer is not good enough or the customer doesn't like it. So they have a very strong presence. They have a couple of features that are not in Rasterlink, for example. I can do an automatic black removal. I can do some color removal. I can do better white density with even the same ink amount. And you have a benefit when you already have a Kotlin driver or Kotlin RIP software. You basically only have to replace the driver to run your TxF. Now, we're also looking in maybe, you know, getting a print and cut workflow. If you do a lot of production, you have it on your roll. We have something that we call ID cut. It prints actually a code around around your image, so the cutter knows exactly where to cut. So you would be able to create, you know, files for your customer. Customer always has ordering A4, A3, and I would be able to cut out the A4, put it in an envelope, and ship it to him. We're looking into that if we can establish that. It requires some development, but this might be good for people that really are in production. If you look at regarding the film, there's basically two transfer films, which is called hot peel or cold peel. Now the word already says it. A hot peel, depending what my manufacturer of the film says on temperature and timing, I could say, okay, I have this hot peel film. I put my transfer press on 150 degrees. I press it 15 seconds, and then I can remove the hot peel. So the hot peel means after pressing, I open up the press, 2-3 seconds, I can peel the film off. Cold peel, however, is different. You have to could press it a little bit longer maybe, but then you it needs to cool down before you peel it off. Now, we see in the market a lot of hot peel customers. There's more customers are using a lot of the hot peel because it's quicker. One disadvantage could be that you would have to press it one more time on the hot peel. It has a more glossy look. So if you don't like that, you would press it again for a couple of seconds. On the cold peel, in most cases, you don't have to do that. So that's a different in these two. Some of them have a rather, depending on the film, one film is a little bit stiffer than the other one. We talked in the beginning about plasterized. you feel one film has maybe a more that plastic effect on the t-shirt, or the other one is a little bit softer. So that depends very much on your media. Basically is the coating. On the right side, you see that, this is an example from a supplier. You see there's already quite a lot of different types of film. So you have a transfer film, but you also have a metallic silver, metallic copper, a fuchsia, light blue. So you see more and more of these things appearing in the market. Also regarding the film, we need powder, what they call the hot melt powder, which is a polyurethane. The particle size 200 micron. It should adhere to the fabrics because it's a glue. Now, what you will see if your powder is not good, it could be when you transfer your image from the film to, for example, your t-shirt, and you're done, you have some residue of the ink still on your film. So you slightly see your image on the film. That means that you don't have a good solution, because in DTF, your complete image, including the white and the CMYK, is transferred to your t-shirt, for example. So, if something stays behind on the film, something is wrong in the process, maybe not enough time, maybe too quick, not high enough, or you simply have a powder that is not compatible with your film, and maybe not compatible with our ink. That could also be so. Regarding the powder shaker, most of you guys probably have seen an automatic system like this. They're more or less are all doing the same. You have an automatic powder supply. You have a shaker area. So all the white that is still on the film that is not attached to ink will be shaken off. And then I'm going to go to the curing unit to melting the powder into a glue. And I have the possibility to, as a take-up device, to roll my media and for production, create a complete roll. We have a cooling fan in most cases to cool the heat of the film, things like that. This is, you see quite a lot of these different machines. Like I said, 60 centimeters or 30 centimeters, but in the future we also will see the bigger machines. We have done some testing on films. As we are only delivering the printer, we wanted to see a little bit the quality and the powder. Overall, I have not had bad film, bad powder. One film is a little bit thinner than the other one. There are some companies designing an eco-friendly film that is thinner, and you can have more meters on the roll, for example. Some of them are saying, hey, I had a cold peel film. I want to go to warm or at least hot peel. I've not seen many issues there. Some are, like I said, some might be a little bit glossier than the other. We also did some what they call a color fast rubbing test. That basically means I take a piece of cotton that I mount on my croc meter, and then it rubs over my tested material, and I can actually see how much, let's call it, ink is visible on my fabric. And then I have a grayscale meter to see, okay, how much color difference do I see compared for the original compared to the when I used the croc meter. So far that has been all very good. We have not had any mistakes or any issues there. I've had one where I saw quite a lot of ink residue on my cotton pad of the croc meter, but it turned out that one was a film powder that had some different conditions. So I had to apply different temperature and different timing. And after that was changed, it was fine. So if you look at printing pricing, so it comes with the Rustling 7. It comes with a 1-year warranty. So I think for me that was the part where I want to explain you about the machine. Now let's move on to some questions. Let's see if there's some questions. Okay, there's a question regarding the shaker. For related equipment such as a shaker and heat pressing, do you have a partner supplying them to recommend your customers? Yes, soon we will announce a partnership with a supplier that is able to deliver these shakers, which is basically where we have tested and works out very fine. So that's good. How long can the machine stay without printing? You know, we have used it here on and off. Sometimes that means that I did not use it for 3-4 days, and I did not have any issues with missing nozzles. I just had to, when I turn it on, I have to shake the cartridge, because the white cartridge is it tells me in the printer. There's a question: do we work with the Neo Stampa rib? Basically, any of our the rib manufacturers that want to have our SDK kit, so software development kit, can apply to us and ask for that. So I think that should not be a problem. They can always contact us, and that's it. Can this metal be printed with offset technology? That's going to be, you know, not sure what you completely mean with these questions regarding to the offset technology. You know, this is, you know, a digital technology, so it's you know, time wise, you know, it's just print and press, so you're very quickly. Are there various powders for different fabrics? There are some I've seen one from Italy where they offer two different powders, basically saying, where they said, well, this powder is more for this fabric and the other powder is more for this fabric. I've seen a lot of other manufacturers, they are only they only have one piece of powder for all the fabrics. Okay, I think that was most of the questions done. I want to thank you very much for your attention. I hope it was useful, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.